What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. And the Tavern of Legends is open for business once again. And it looks like we have another goat riding hero in the portal, or ram riding hero. I'm not sure what their obsession is with people who ride goats. Their backs just can't take it. So today we're going to be having a look at Ramona, Grimble's little sister, sister from another mister. But let's have a look at her today. We've got to see what she's all about. So Ramona is our latest Champions family hero. As you can see, she's having a whale of a time. And we're going to just decide whether or not she's going to stack up in terms of these Champions family heroes, because there are some damn good ones out there. And there are a few who've fallen slightly short of the mark. So let's have a look at Ramona. First of all, she is a dark hero, so we do like that about her. She is of the monk class, which is pretty decent because she gets a 30% chance to resist status ailments, which can always come in useful. And of course, she is of the Champions family. So just as a quick reminder, they get a bonus for 1, 2, or 3 heroes, anywhere from 35%, 50%, or 65% attack. So even though you've just got a single Champions family hero, they are going to get an increase on their attack straight away. So that really does benefit these heroes quite a lot. And then she gets these 3 passives. So the first passive is going to be mana buff on status ailment received. So she gets a 24% increase on her mana generation for 3 turns when she receives a status ailment or a negative stack. Now that we've seen before. The second passive we haven't, which is a health boost on Fiend Summon. So when a fiend is summoned to any enemy, this character gets 300 boosted health. The effect can only activate once per turn. Now it is just for this character. We have seen other passives which will apply to the entire team. This is not that kind of a passive, but it is still pretty good considering that she is a fiend summoner. The fact that she's getting a boost on the fiend summon does help. And the third passive is very similar. So when a fiend is summoned for any enemy, this character gains 5% mana. And again, the effect can activate only once per turn. So that's really good as well. And then moving on to Ramona's stats, if we switch the max power preview off, we can see she's running a team power of 1026, so very respectable there. 1021 on her attack, 1062 on the defense, and 1765 on the health. So really good stats across the board. We're not expecting anything less from these heroes, especially if they've just been released. And then moving on to Ramona's special skill, it is called 3 Little Rams. Not very surprisingly, but she is running at very fast speed, which I find pretty cool. At very fast speed, she will be dealing 450% damage to the target. She then summons 3 ram fiends for the target, and the fiend damages the enemy with 40% attack every turn. Now the ram fiend absorbs healing and disappears when its absorbed health equal to 45% of its owner's max health, and the healing absorbed is transferred to the summoner and their allies and distributed evenly. Now let's hit this little question mark before we get into the breakdown for this. So it ignores heal steal, healing modifiers, and fiends. Okay, so that means it's going to ignore like a health suck out skill. Heal steal. I should have just kept it at that. Healing modifiers, so reduced healing like that. And fiends, so any other fiends that are not her fiends, she's not going to give the same healing from the other fiends that the characters have. Okay, that all makes sense. So what do we think of little Ramona? 450% damage to the single target running at very fast speed is a decent hit. She gets a pretty high attack stat of 1021. Plus, don't forget about the family bonus, which increases her attack by 35% up to 65% depending on how many of these heroes you have. So that really is going to hurt. 450% damage to a single target at very fast speed is a hard snipe. Now, why she has to summon 3 ram fiends, that just seems like overkill, but it is very effective. So the fiends damage the enemy with 40% attack. So there's basically going to be 120% attack from the way I understand that, because your enemy is going to have 3 fiends on them after she hits. And then the fiend's going to absorb healing and disappears when it's absorbed up to 45% of the owner's max health. Now remember, she is chucking 3 of these horrible suckers on the hero at the same time, which means that you are going to need to overheal just to be able to get back to the point where you can actually heal your hero up after he's taken that damage. So this hero is going to disable a single hero on the opposite team, and she's going to be ready within 2 tile matches to disable a second, and then another 2 to disable a third. So she is going to be pretty damn difficult to deal with. I don't know that there's any real saving graces with this character. Normally I'm like, okay, a big heal can get you out of a sticky situation, but you're going to need more than just a big heal. You're going to need a massive heal, health boost. You're probably going to need 2 heals to get rid of those fiends. And remember, she's going to be healing the whole of her team every time you try and heal those fiends away. She's going to be healing the whole of the enemy team as well. So I can see this hero being extremely frustrating, to the point where I think that she may even be a little bit overpowered, dare I say. I think this is a really good hero, and I think that a lot of people are going to underestimate her just because she looks very unassuming. But that skill, those fiends, and that healing absorption, so she's a hitter healer, and I always say hitter healers are really good, but this is the first time we've seen that effect where the healing absorbed by the fiend is transferred to the summoner and their allies, and it's distributed evenly across the opposition team. So I think Ramona's pretty damn good. She's a heck of a lot better than Mr. Grimble, her cousin, brother from another mother, whatever you want to say. She is going to be fantastic. So in summary, I think she's an excellent hero. I would put her right up there with the best of the best in terms of the champions family. So congratulations if you do manage to get your hands on Ramona. She's a fantastic hero. We do have this nice little option where we can choose other heroes to be featured in this portal. So that is really amazing, and I hope that they do include that at some point in some of the other portals as well. The odds for the featured hero are going to be at 1%. The past hero of the month that's non-featured, 1.5%. So this is a really interesting mechanic, really, because when you pick a featured hero of the month, or a featured champions hero, it kind of almost gives you a lower odds to pull that hero, but it just says, legendary past hero of the month. But I'm assuming that that will include the champions family heroes as well. If it doesn't, then you're probably best off putting the champions family heroes as I have here, if you do want to pull one of them. So that is pretty much all I've got to say on the odds. So good luck if you guys are going to be dropping some pulls in this portal. Please do let me know your thoughts and let me know how you think Ramona's going to perform. Personally, I think she's going to be able to shut down a team in maybe 2 to 3 hits of her special skill. I think then it's just going to be just about game over. But I think she's going to work really well both on offense and on defense. But let me know your thoughts. Please also do drop us a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you don't want to miss any future videos. But that is it on Ramona for now. Actually, let's just check out, the max power preview on. She gets the attack up on the ether talent as well, so even better amount of damage up front. But that is really it now. I promise that's it. And so until the next time, I wish you everything of the best, and I'll see you all again in the next video. Bye for now, guys.